How's it going, everybody? Texas Man here. I hope you guys are all having a great day. Make sure you guys give this video a thumbs up if you guys really enjoy it. Subscribe if you guys have not already. Also, do me the biggest favor of all, hit the bell notification button so you guys don't miss out on future videos or streams here on the channel. Also, if you guys would, please head over to Twitch. Follow me there at Douglas447. I stream there at least once a week, whether it's for Call of Duty Battlefield, Halo, Destiny 2. And of course, if you guys have any movies or shows you guys want me to watch and review here on the channel, let me know in the comment section down below. And as always, we're going to be talking about The Matrix. This movie came out in 1999, and we're going to talk about it in a different sense. Normally, I would talk about positives and negatives in these types of videos, but I want to discuss why The Matrix from 1999 was and remains a masterpiece. And I'm going to dive into 5 reasons. Now, obviously, there's plenty more that I could discuss, but in terms of length of the video, I don't want this video to drag on for ever and ever and ever. And of course, this movie is not perfect. Let me state that this movie is not perfect. It does have some flaws, but in general, The Matrix, for me and for many other people, is looked back on fondly as one of the best movies ever crafted, especially for its time. The Matrix centers around, the internet becoming a thing that everyone's gonna, eventually, use, and it dives into, the warning of technology taking over humanity. It warns us in a fun way that if we're not careful, AI is going to take over the world, technology will take over, and to some degree, personal opinion, it has. And so the first reason that this film remains a masterpiece is it's a warning film. It is a warning that even 20 years plus later, depending on the time you watch this video, this film's message of be careful what you wish for, be careful what you create technology-wise, because it may turn against you and it may destroy the entire human race. And that was positive and needed when the internet was becoming a main stage thing, and it's still needed today with what's going on with social media. We have all this technology around us and we're so absorbed by it and we're so reliant on it. It's going to come to a point where without it we can't exist as a society. And so the Matrix is going to be something that people will look back on and remember that this was a warning film. So that is the first reason why The Matrix remains so positive, is because it's never going to age. It's going to be something that remains a constant thing because of technology and us as humans relying so much and so much more reliant on the technology usage. Now we're going to dive into the movie itself. The second reason why this film is such a masterpiece is its main character, Mr. Anderson slash Neo is what most people call him. The main character dies. Spoilers if for whatever reason you've never seen The Matrix. Neo dies in this movie, and it's shocking when it does happen. Like, I just recently rewatched the film. I watched it last night. The main character Neo dies in the movie. Now that is something that you're not thinking probably to yourself right now. It's like, the main character dies. Okay, and that doesn't happen a lot in blockbuster movies anymore, nor low budget movies. Your main character always has this bubble around them that the writers create that makes it where the main character cannot, will not, and shall not ever be killed. They can be injured to the point of near death, but they're never going to die. Neo, in the first Matrix movie out of the entire trilogy before the fourth one comes out, Neo dies. Neo, the main character, dies. And what's shocking, though, is that even though he dies, you should know in the back of your mind that it's going to happen. Like, there is literally a prophecy, and the person that has the prophecy tells Neo that either himself or Morpheus is going to die. soon. Well, Neo and Trinity save Morpheus from death. So obviously, the prophecy still is going through, so Neo's going to die. So an hour before Neo gets killed, on average an hour, before Neo's killed, you already know that he's going to die. So that should be in the back of your mind. But you are so absorbed by everything going on, action, the CGI, the practical effects, the character development, other characters are being killed off. You still get that shock and awe feeling. You still get that gut-wrenching impact that your hero, this character that you've been rooting for almost 2 hours, is gunned down by Agent Smith. Even though you know it's coming, you know he's going to die. You don't know exactly how, but you know for a fact that there's a prophecy that was told to you an hour ago that's going to come true, because that's movie logic, that he's going to die, and yet it still has that impact. It still has that shock and awe value. And most modern films don't have that. Yes, True Love, thanks to Trinity, revives him, yet this film not only has that type of shock and awe value for when Neo gets killed and of course revived, but the shocking twists and turns and surprises are constantly throughout this movie. Go rewatch the film and tell me how many shock twists and turns occur that you didn't expect. Obviously, it has some predictable moments, but even those predictable things that you think are going to happen don't play out the way that you, as an audience member, expect it to happen. You don't expect certain things to happen. You expect certain things to happen, but how they occur in the movie, you probably didn't think they were going to happen. And most modern films don't have these types of shock, twists, and turns. And most modern films today don't kill off their main character in the first film. Yes, he gets revived because, they need sequels. But most modern films don't kill off their main character. And I'm happy that in a film 20 plus years ago, they were able to accomplish that and deliver something that still shocks and awes you. Like, I haven't watched the original Matrix in at least 4 years, and when I rewatched it last night, I completely forgot about that. And I was shocked. I'm like, wait a minute, they just killed Neo. I'm like, but there's 2 more movies. How does he come back? Trinity, True Love, got it. But still, it shocks you when it does occur. The next reason that the third reason that The Matrix remains a masterpiece is the themes that are in this film are still amazing to go through and enjoy on a rewatch. The themes of AI taking over humanity and trying to wipe them out because they think humanity is a virus. There's love, there's betrayal, there's courage, sacrifice, and belief, and all these themes are constant throughout the film, and they don't hurt the movie. Instead, they add to this film that came out in 1999 that uses, for the most part, practical effects. And the CGI, yes, it is dated, remains cool. And even though the CGI is kind of dated, it doesn't hurt the eyes to watch on multiple reruns 20 years later. 2 decades later, yes, it's old CGI, but the practical effects still hold up. And the CGI, even though it's dated, it doesn't hurt the eyes. There are movies that I've seen that are 40, 50 years old, and the CGI just not only has it not aged well, but it's not good to look at. The Matrix hasn't aged well, but at least it's bearable to watch, and it's bearable to the eyes, if that makes any sense. The next reason is, even though the film is rated R, the movie remains an easy film to rewatch. There's a lot of movies that are great to rewatch, like Lord of the Rings or Avatar, for example. Those films are great to rewatch, but it's something that you have to commit to, and you have to realize you're sitting down for 3 to 5 hours, depending if you're watching the extended editions. They're not easy to say, yeah, I'm going to sit and watch this movie from start to finish. It's really hard to do that. With The Matrix being just slightly over 2 hours, it's easier to watch over other projects. And this film, The Matrix, to me personally, it's a lot easier to rewatch over projects that Keanu Reeves has made, like John Wick. Yes, they have different tones and plots, but John Wick isn't something that I'm always excited to rewatch. John Wick is not something that I'm like, oh, I want to rewatch this right now. When it comes to Keanu Reeves, I'm always thinking of The Matrix, and sometimes in the back of my mind, Constantine. but it's something that I like rewatching, and I know that it's good quality entertainment, and I'm going to enjoy it because of all the things I've talked about in the past. And then the last point I'm going to talk about is another reason I like rewatching this movie. Fifth and final reason why The Matrix remains a masterpiece is it's special because of another really good reason that modern films seems to have forgotten about. It avoids modern day politics and culture and messaging. Most movies have something to do with politics and the culture today and the messaging, and sometimes they go so far with the messaging that it looks like you're watching a 2-hour essay just with action explosions and CGI fest. This film's not interested in that. The Matrix never was interested in politics, the culture, and the messaging. It wasn't interested in any of that crap. The filmmakers realized over 20 years ago that having all that stuff in the film doesn't add to the escapism audience members want to see in a film that they paid for. They don't want to see that. The filmmakers also realize that adding in messaging, it doesn't help add anything to the plots, the side plot, characters being killed off or introduced, character development, character arcs. It doesn't add to the locations, the practical effects, the CGI. It just doesn't add any quality to the film. So those are my reasons why The Matrix from 1999 was and remains constantly a masterpiece of a film. Thank you guys so much for watching. You guys all have a great day. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.